Rosa here. I hope you're all having a lovely day. I'm here today to show you what I've been sewing in September, and it's actually been a pretty productive month, so I'm really excited to share with you some of the things I've been making. So yeah, I think if you watched my video, my sort of September hauls and plan type video, I think I've actually managed to make everything in that video, which has never happened, I don't think, ever before. So feeling pretty chuffed, and I also made one or two extra things too, one for a friend and something for myself as well. So anyway, let's get started. I am wearing my first make, and actually this kind of wasn't the easiest thing, which it should have been. I've made the skirt before. I'll stand up so you can see. It's the Sew Over at Erin skirt. I'll stand up. Oh, there you go. So this is the Sew Over at Erin skirt. I made it in this gorgeous pink velvet, which I love. And obviously I went for the short mini version. I only had 1 meter of fabric. I made the size 10 and it's come out absolutely fine. The thing that it was completely my fault that this went wrong. So I made the skirt in my usual size. I put in all of the hammer-on buttons. I made the buttonholes first, but I put the waistband buttonhole in the wrong place. So if you look, the buttonhole on the waistband should align. The center point of that hole should align with the other holes, so that of course it gets pulled to the furthest point here, so they should all go in a straight line. But I stupidly aligned it centered, and then it meant that it was just like pulling open at the top. It was then too big, and I kind of tried fiddling around with it and moving the button a bit, and it just looked like an awful mess, and I really realised what a perfectionist I am. So I actually decided to just remake the whole waistband. So yeah, I spent a couple of hours just unpicking the waistband, recutting the waistband, although I didn't have enough fabric. So my waistband is now in 3 parts. It's got this part, it's got a little part in the back, and it's got this part here. So the waistband's now cut in 3 pieces, but it fits. I kind of decided, never mind, I have a skirt that fits. And I'm actually really pleased with it. I top stitched the pockets, which I haven't done before, just because again it was rolling out. I decided to just use some leftover spotty fabric. Oh, can you see? It's like a sort of just spotty polyester crepe de chine, because I thought that lining the pocket bags with velvet would have been a bit much. It would have been too chunky around here. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this make. Even with my stupid buttonhole disaster I managed to have. And I haven't worn it outside yet, so I'm hoping to wear this outfit today. I'm just wearing it with my stripe. This isn't a new one, but it's just a stripy Tilly and the Buttons Agnes top that I did the slash neck hack for. And if you'd like to make one, I've made a video tutorial showing you how I make the slash neck hack. The next things I'm going to show you are my boyfriend's shirts. Now I did show you 3 fabrics. I finished 2 of them. The third one we're making together, so I kind of given Josh some of like the slightly simpler jobs to do. Like he did all the cutting out, which was really good, and he's sewing lots of the straight seams, and I'll do the kind of fiddly bits like putting on the cuffs and that sort of thing, and like finishing the collar. But I'll show you them. I'm really pleased. He's been wearing them to work quite a lot, which is very sweet. I do like when he wears the things I make, particularly when they take a long time. So the first one is this one here, which I put on Instagram, and I was really chuffed with my pattern matching, across that button band. And lots of people were very kind about that, so thanks guys if you commented on that picture on my Instagram, which is at rosabella.angelica if you'd like to follow me. I used a Burda pattern for this. I'll insert a picture here so you can see which pattern I used. It's just the perfect fit for him. I did size up 1 size because these are thicker fabrics than the Tana Lawns which I've used before. So I think this is the 38, and he wears like a men's medium in the UK. I don't know if that helps anybody out. And they fit really, really nicely. I'm so pleased. And they really suit him. So this is the first one. This fabric's from Doughty's. I'll leave a link to it down below. Some of my favourite details on this is I used bias binding to make the opening for the cuff. So here's the cuff, and in the pattern it says to use like a sort of facing thing, but I actually used bias binding, which I just think looks really sweet and smart, and actually is easier, so that's quite good. So I do really like this one, but my favourite shirt is the other one which I've made him. Oh, and also it's got this nice little pleat at the back. Can you see that there? Yeah, I think so. And yeah, my favourite is definitely this one. I just love, ow, I just stabbed myself in the face. That wasn't that clever, sorry. I just absolutely love this shirt. These buttons, we've used the same buttons on all of them because they're his favourite buttons. I think they're called bamboo buttons, I'm not sure. But again, I'll leave links in down below. We got them on eBay super cheaply. I ordered about 50 because I thought then I've got enough for 3 shirts. So of course you need all the buttons for down the front and you need them for the cuffs as well. So it's kind of like a button bonanza. Don't make a shirt if you don't like making buttonholes. I think that's kind of a fail-safe there. But I just love this one because I think it looks really cool and I think it kind of looks quite expensive. I don't know. I think maybe it's just me, but I just love it. Again, it's got the same little cuff detail, little pleats. I think the details show up better on this one because the print is less busy. But I still really like the print. It's sort of got this lovely wave look. Again, the fabric's from Doughty's. It's £10 per metre, same as this one. And yeah, I love these shirts. I love that he likes them and he wears them and they're really, really smart. And yeah, I'm very pleased. And actually, even though they do take quite a lot of work, they are very satisfying to make, particularly when you kind of got into the rhythm of making them. I really like that they've got this little gusset in the side seam as well, just with open. So they have curved hems and then you put this little gusset in. The one thing I would say about this fabric, if you're thinking of buying it, I think it would look great for women's wear as well as men's wear, but it frays like hell. Like this one didn't fray at all. And this, well, I still zigzagged all the edges, but this one I had to double zigzag all of the seams, which took quite a long time, but you know, he's worth it. And luckily, the yoke is all faced, self-faced, so I'll show you that. Just undoing the buttons. So you see the yoke inside, well, I should do one more, is all faced with the self fabric. So all those seams don't need to be zigzag because they're all, you know, cased in. But anyway, right, so let me, the last thing I made, which wasn't for myself, is a surprise make, which I didn't mention in my makes video because I kind of just forgot to mention. But one of my very, very good friends, Jo, has just had her first baby and we're all so excited, and I made her some baby bunting. So here's a picture of the baby bunting along his crib. I just absolutely love it, little baby Franco. And we went to visit him and he's just an absolute delight. So yeah, we had such a lovely time and she's doing such an amazing job. So it was really, really, really lovely getting to make her a little something because she deserves it. Because she's working very hard to look after him, and yeah, it looks really cute in his crib. I actually haven't really made anything like that in a really long time. There was a lot of hand sewing, a lot of working with felt. 2 things I don't do very often, but Jo is completely worth it. So yeah, it was really sweet. I'm going to get changed into some of the more selfish things that I've made for myself. I'll be back in a second. I'm back and I'm wearing a new top, and I very rarely make tops, so I'm really pleased. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have already seen this one. So sorry, you always skip ahead. But this top was a bit of a pain in the ass considering it's a really simple shape. It is a lovely, my favourite fabric, red gingham blouse. It's a Simplicity pattern. I'll insert the picture in here. And yeah, I've actually just stuck on my little Erin skirt again. Oh, I probably wouldn't wear it with this. I'd probably just stick it on with jeans. It's a simple wrap style. The issues I had were with the fitting. So this pattern came up absolutely tiny. I usually would wear a size 10 in Simplicity patterns. So I cut the size 10, I cut it with the short sleeve, this lovely wrap shape, and it was just so incredibly uncomfortable. Like I couldn't reach forwards, you know, when you get that thing and you're like, ugh. And I mean, I couldn't raise my arms past like here. So I had to rip the sleeve out, and then I tried it on without any sleeves and it still just wouldn't do up. So this wrap, I've actually put some pop studs on here. I'll just show you. Ooh, there you go. So some little clear pop studs just to keep holding it in place. It doesn't say to do that, but I don't see how it would not fall open and risk exposing yourself without having a little pop stud there. But it has this lovely bow, which I do really like. And the bodice is actually fully lined. So it does, I think I mentioned in my last video, I had this cut out, that it has like 1,000 pieces because it is self-lined, which is actually really lovely. It's a really nice finish. So the bodice front and back are both lined, the peplum isn't lined, and the sleeves obviously aren't lined. But yeah, so I had to take the sleeves out, and I managed to cut out this sleeve with the fabric which I had left over, which is a sleeve from a New Look shift dress, which I've kind of had for years and years. I think it's out of print, but it was just a sleeve that I really liked. I like how it kind of puffs out, but you can see I didn't have enough fabric to make the full length. So they've actually got seams halfway through. So I've kind of had a bit of a month of trying to scrape together what I can with fabric that's left over. But this is it. Overall, I am really pleased. But to let it out, I had to actually remove the back darts. So it did have darts in the back here above the peplum, but I had to just get rid of them because otherwise, yeah, like I said, it would not have done up. So if you are going to make this blouse, I think I would recommend it with modifications. I would just basically size up if I was to make it again, and I probably wouldn't use that sleeve because it's just, I don't like tight sleeves. I really hate it. If they're jersey, fine, but I really don't like a tight sleeve. But I do think the top looks kind of cool, and it is the look that I was going for. And with jeans, it's a really cool look. So I do like it, but I mean, it was quite a lot of effort for something that really it's not really a showstopper. It's just like a nice casual blouse to stick on with jeans. But anyway, really nice for the autumn. You can stick a nice jacket over it, and like I said, a nice comfy pair of trousers, and yeah, you're good to go. But anyway, that's the blouse. I've made something else in red gingham though, which I was not planning, and it's a Nina Lee pattern. So I'm going to pop it on now and show you. Ta-da! So here is my Nina Lee dress. I was not intending on making this, and let's be honest, this is not the time of year to be making a strappy summer dress. But there's a reason I made it. So I went to the Sewing Bee Live, which was so much fun. I got to meet loads of you guys who watched the vlog. So hi, if I saw you, it was so cool. I'm really lovely to meet you all. We were there with Susie Magazine and Nina Lee Patterns. We shared a stall, and I really wanted to wear one of Nina's designs because I thought that would just be really nice, as she so kindly let us work with her and, you know, share her stall space, which was really lovely. So thank you, Nina, if you're watching. I decided to make a Nina Lee dress, and I absolutely love it. It fit me straight out of the packet. I made the size 10, which, as I've always said, is kind of my standard size. I went for it in red gingham because one of my absolute favourite fashion bloggers, Liv Purvis, didn't make because she doesn't sew, but she was wearing a dress exactly like this in red gingham, and I sort of saw it and was like, I just really want to have that dress. It looks so cool on her, and I'm really pleased with that. I wore it to the fair. It was so comfortable, and it was really warm in the fair, so it didn't really matter that I was wearing a summer dress and it was September. It's got this lovely split up the front because the buttons don't go all the way down. There are a hell of a lot of buttons, so I would say if you don't really like doing buttonholes, maybe don't make the Q dress from Nina Lee. This is called the Q dress. It's a little bit wrinkly, so I do apologise. I kind of gave it a quick iron, but this fabric is one of those Tiger tablecloths, and it has got a slightly sort of like, is it cheesecloth? So it's a slightly wrinkly look anyway, which is just like the style, but also it is just in a little bit of a press, so I apologise. I'll show you the back of the dress. It's really sweet and simple, lovely strappy dress. I love how the skirt flares out. It's so flattering. In the skirt there are darts at the front and the back to give it some shaping. There's no gathering, no pleating. It's very sort of sleek and pretty, and there's also an option, woo, I just knelt on it, whoops. And there's also an option to do a very 70s version, which is my absolute favourite era, with a sleeve, which looks really cool and very pretty as well, which still has the buttons down the front. So yeah, so it's my first Nina Lee pattern. I'm super duper pleased. Yeah, there's not much else to say about it really, other than I probably won't get to wear it again until next summer. But the good thing with gingham, this is my gingham appreciation moment in this video, is that it kind of is, it just always looks good. I feel like it's never going to be out of style. Gingham's just quite classic, so yeah, I love it. I think it's really cute. And now I'm going to go get changed into my second to last thing that I've made. It's been a very busy month. I don't know quite how I've done this, but anyway. Okay, so as I said, the 70s is pretty much my favourite era of fashion, and it's really having a bit of a moment at the moment. So I made this stripy jumper, which I think has a very sort of groovy 70s feel. I showed this fabric again in my haul and sewing plans video, and it's from Fabricland again because I have a problem. I just love Fabricland. But it's a lovely, they call it a winter weight jersey, and I managed to cut it so that the stripes pretty much run all the way across, which I'm kind of pleased about. I think it's kind of cute. And I asked you guys down below for your suggestions of which pattern I should use for a crop jumper, and the Astoria just kept popping up over and over and over again. And I was like, I think I better do an Astoria because it seems like it's what everyone wants. Everyone wants what everyone would recommend, rather. And loads of you said you've made it and it's so simple, so thank you if you said that. I completely agree. This pattern is absolutely lovely. It's a seam work pattern. I am a member, or I was, yeah, I wasn't for a while, but I signed up again so I could get this pattern. And yeah, it's really, I mean, it's so cheap to get those patterns. I would say I don't find they all fit particularly well, but this one does fit really well. Although the one thing I did do, the alteration, is I let the sleeves out, because when I looked at this, the problems I've had before with their patterns is the sleeves are just way too tight. And this would have been like that, like so tight, if I hadn't have let it out just a couple of inches at the bottom of each sleeve. I put it on here with my little Erin skirt again, and I think this is a kind of cute 70s combo. It's kind of fun. There's not a huge amount to say about it. It comes together really quickly. It has this lovely wide band at the bottom which just holds it all in. It's got a band at the neckline. The sleeves fit in really nicely. I kind of would like it to have a cuff on. I think if I was to make this again, I would probably add a cuff, because they're just hemmed, which, you know, looks fine. But I think with knitwear and jumpers, I really like to add a cuff wherever I can, because I just think it looks a bit more professional. But yeah, this is really fun, and I think for the price that I paid for this, I think this top doesn't look cheap at all. I think it's really nice. But somebody at work said to me it kind of looks like quite an expensive jumper, which was quite nice. I think there's something about the colourway. I just thought it was really nice, and I moved back. I think it kind of suits me. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know, I thought the colours kind of go with my hair and stuff. Anyway, I have one more thing to show you. I did not intend on making this, so it's a little bit unnecessary, but I'm really pleased with it. And I made it because I got engaged. I was really excited. I'm not sure if I mentioned this on my channel, but yay, we got engaged, so it's really exciting. And we had drinks with some friends just on a Saturday night, nothing fancy, but it was really nice. And I thought, you know what, I want a nice dress to wear, because, you know, it's not every day you get engaged and see everybody. So yeah, I'm going to pop that on and show you my last make. Okay, this is my last thing I've made this month, and I think it is definitely my favourite, probably because I did wear it to such a nice occasion. But anyway, this is a dress, again, inspired by the same blogger that inspired my Q dress. So yeah, Liv Purvis, I'll leave a link to her blog down below. She's just so gorgeous and wears the most amazing things. She doesn't sew them, she buys them, or I'm sure she's given things to you, because she's a very popular blogger. But anyway, so this is inspired by a dress which she was wearing, which was a black wrap dress with little white polka dots on, and I had this fabric in my stash for a long time. I have had, rather, this fabric in my stash for a really long time. It's a navy blue spotty crepe. I think it was probably originally from a market, maybe from Fabricland. It's not an expensive fabric is what I'm saying. But as soon as I saw her wearing this dress, I'll insert a picture, I was like, okay, I need to make a version of this dress, because she just looked absolutely stunning. It was really to my taste, very 70s and cool, but still quite understated. So I decided to have a crack, and I used my very favourite wrap bodice pattern, which is a New Look one. Again, I'll insert a picture here. I just used a simple straight sleeve, and I cut it to the length, which was her one, just above the elbow. And then the skirt is a simple part circle skirt, and I've made it to just below the knee again. Because that's the length of her one. So I basically just kind of try to make a version of that dress, which I do sometimes. Sometimes I like to design things obviously completely myself, and other times I'm really inspired by bloggers or fashion or, you know, whatever, just things I see that I really love. And I like being able to sew. I can, you know, recreate them out on a budget, and also so that they really fit my body. I've worn this to work again as well since having drinks, which is, I think, fine. I think it looks quite nice for work. I mean, I'm quite conscious of it not like falling open, but the good thing with it not being a real wrap, it being a mock wrap, I know it's not going to fall open. Or I've been layering it up. I've had it over like long sleeve tops or over polo necks to make it look even more 70s, which I really love. It's a look that I'm a bit obsessed with at the moment. But anyway, this is my last make. I hope you like it. I do not know how, let me come a bit closer. I do not know how I have been this productive this month. I would say I kind of probably started some of these things in the last few days of August. You know how it is. Because I think I filmed my haul video in the last couple of days of August, and I'd already cut out 1 or 2 things. So yeah, I've maybe been to cheat a little bit there. They haven't all been cut out, sewn and finished in September, but yeah. I have been quite productive, and I think I'm most pleased with my shirts that I made, and my bunting, and this dress. I think those are my favourite things, but I really love this skirt as well, my favourite Erin skirt. I feel like I'm going to get a huge amount of wear from this in just the whole of the autumn and winter. So yeah, I don't know, and I love the jumper. I love my Q dress. I wish that it weren't autumn in a way so that I could wear that more. I don't really feel I can layer that. I think it's very much a summer dress, whereas this one I think you could style up a little bit. It has a bit more of an autumnal vibe, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, that's everything for today, guys. Do let me know down below what you've been sewing this month, or if you've got any questions about any of these patterns. I will really try my very best to answer. Yeah, I hope you have a really lovely week, and I'll see you again next weekend. I've got some really exciting things coming up, so do click subscribe if you haven't already for more sewing vlogs. Oh, and do click the little bell next to it if you've already subscribed, and you'll get a little notification when I make a new video. Yeah, that would be awesome. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Have a great week. I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.